And those don't have your video on, I highly recommend you. This is an online class, so we don't get a lot of opportunity to see face-to-face. So if you can turn on your video, that would be very good, so I can see that who is taking the program. In 1 minute, we'll start. Thank you.
Yeah, that one's
okay.
Dr. Tao?
Yes.
This is Bood.
Hello, Bood.
I have a SCCC meeting from 9 to 12, so I need to leave pretty much now. So I just want to jump in and say hi to everyone. I'm the chair of School of Computing and Design, and it's exciting to have everyone here, and I wish I could participate, but I'm sure I could participate for the future orientations. So I just want to show welcome to the School of Computing and Design, and I look forward to working with you in the future. And Dr. Tao has been running this for 2 years and very experienced. So, if there is anything, Dr. Tao is the first person to go to. And if there are more things that needs to be involved, you are welcome to come to me as well. Thank you. Have a nice morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Boon. Okay, you want to put a chair in? Close the door so you don't get an echo. Okay, good morning, everyone. So we'll start our orientation. This is an exciting beginning of your program, and we've been putting a lot of efforts into it, but we're always looking for improvement. So I want to let everyone know, welcome to the program, and we continue to experiment new things. If you have any concern, question, we are more than happy to know it. I will first introduce myself a little bit, then we'll go through the agenda for today, and then we'll go through introduce all the faculty, teaching assistant, and each and every student. Okay, my name is Eric Tao. I've been with CHMB for about 20 years. I joined CHMB as a young man. Now, look at my forehead. That's working 12 hours a day in front of a radiated monitor, so be careful. So we started the computer science program 2 years ago. That's part of my kind of passion to really make computer science education high quality and accessible. My background is I finished my graduate program in New Jersey Institute of Technology in computer science. Then I finished my PhD in UC Irvine in computer engineering. And I've been doing teaching and research in computer software engineering, especially focused on information system design and how do you use a database to enhance decision making. So a lot of my research is in database and e-learning field. How do you use the data to improve collective performance? So I teach I co-teach classes in this program. Most classes are taught by other faculty, but I will be with you throughout your about 100-week of learning experience. So even I'm not teaching the class, I will be always available to answer questions to support your learning. So I'm really happy to see all of you. Although, let me see, I think that there's a second screen. Let me see.
There's no second
No.
screen yet.
Okay. Okay. So let me first go through it really quickly. What will happen today? Today, the orientation lasts about, I would say, maybe 2.5 hours. The goal is to know each other and to know the structure of the program and to know the faculty. And I will introduce, give you an overview of your next 100 weeks of learning, include what kind of classes, what kind of outcome, and how can you be the most successful and enjoy the learning experience. And you will have 2 minutes to introduce yourself. Again, we're going to record it, so you want to talk about your prior experience, why are you in this program, a little bit about after you finish the degree, what's your plan in the future. And also let us know you as a person, your path, your passion, what you like to do. If you feel comfortable, a little bit about your family. We're going to be in this close environment for 2 years. Then about towards 11, I will have Kayla to introduce our learning environment. We call that iLearn. So we are going to send you the link so you can come in as a guest to look around. It's a website, all the learning, all the video, our communication, and also the assignments is submitted through that system. It's based upon an open source system called Moodle. So some of you might have experience to it, but we called it iLearn. Then the last half an hour, myself and Brian Robertson, we're going to get you started in the first class, the CST 300. So at the end of our orientation, if you see our agenda, you will know more about the program, you know more about the people, you know more about how to be successful in the program, and at the end, you're ready to start the first class. So that's the goal of today. Let's try this first. Any question? The question, you can put it into chat box. If you look at the lower part of your screen, there's a icon called chat. If you click on that, you can type in questions. Why don't we all do that so I know you can access it? Because the audio might be too confusing if we have multiple people talking. So click on move your mouse, click on the chat box, and say something there. Like testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. That is very, that's great.
Yes, we will show the PowerPoints that Claudia asked you guys to send.
Yes. That's
the
good.
weather's cold.
Yes. Today on campus it's pretty cold. It's I think in the high 30s, right?
Yeah.
It's colder than typical. Okay, very good. I think most people can access that. You can let's try one person talk on the audio to make sure to see. I'm going to ask, say Joe, Sarabia. You want to say something to make sure we can hear you?
Sure. Hello, everyone.
Okay, good. So we know the student side works. Okay, very good. Let's start our, let me see. Okay.
Would you like me to pull up Claudia's PowerPoint?
Just maybe one more minute. Okay. And also I want to remind everyone that we're going to go through a little exercise to make sure you are ready to take on this online environment. Let me see. We only have about 8 people showing a video. How many of the students have taken a complete online course? Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. Wow, okay. How many of you have never taken an online course before? Okay, so some of you probably take some kind of partial online training. Okay, that's good. So before we introduce some faculty members, I want to get you prepared that the program is very collaborative. So during your study, not only, of course, you study from the faculty, the faculty will interact with you every week. Every class have a team-oriented. Sometimes you just discuss with your team, but sometimes the whole project is done by the team. And that is a design feature of the program. And we are going to we're going to assign you to a team sometime soon, right?
Next week.
Next week, okay.
Really next week.
So you should be ready to collaborate with team member, and that not only a good way to enhance your learning, but also that is how the whole software and IT industry works. People work closely together. That's painful, but at the end, that collaboration make learning and make our profession more effective. I want to give you kind of that early notice. Okay, so can you help me to load the, I'll let you try this. So what we will do is, wait, let's introduce the faculty first.
Claudia has PowerPoint.
For the faculty also?
Just for her.
Just
She's
for her.
not here.
Okay. So now we want to go to introduce some of the key faculty and the staff going to help you throughout your study. The program is designed as 11 course plus 1 elective. So the 11 courses taught by about 7 or 8 faculty. So you will see many of them. Some of them are teaching classes right now, so they won't be here. I think we have 2 or 3 faculty going to say hi. Why don't we start with introduction to the person you probably connect with often already. That's Claudia Carter. She is the program advisor. She's the one going to help you with all non-academic questions like registration, connect you to financial aid, and graduation process. I think she's on the phone. Let's Kayla, why don't you load the PowerPoint and let Claudia talk to us. Starting the browser.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's good.
Just one moment, guys. Sorry. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Claudia, are you there?
Uh-oh.
Claudia? Okay, so Claudia is traveling at the moment, so she might be in a patch where she doesn't have any service. So Claudia is her background, she has a BA in psychology from San Diego, a master's in education with emphasis on multicultural counseling from San Diego as well, and she's currently working for a doctorate at Oregon State, and she's been working at CSUMB for 2.5 years. She is the academic advisor for the program and the program coordinator. You pretty much reach out to her for almost anything that is not academic related. Then you would reach out to the teachers, the teacher's assistants, or Dr. Tao. And she has her contact information. I'm sure you guys have seen her email often. And she has office hours Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5. And the best way to get in contact with her is through Google Hangout. And after today, you guys have to start using your csumb.edu accounts. We won't be emailing any personal accounts after today. And
That's that?
That's that.
So why don't we move on to maybe faculty Uh, Brian, are you there?
Well, hello everybody. I am Brian, and I will be teaching the writing lag portion of the CST 300 course. That'll be the first course you'll take in the program. And there's I may be teaching the capstone or co-teaching the capstone. That's pretty far off right now, but I will be looking forward to working with all of you.
Okay, so Brian wants to talk about your kind of experience in technical writing in Silicon Valley.
Okay, my background's in technical writing. I have 15 years in the Silicon Valley writing in biotech and in telecommunications, and I bring that to CSUMB. My undergrad was at San Jose State, where I got a bachelor's in English, and I did my master's here in the MIST program, Master of Science in Instructional Science Technology, and I've been with CSUMB about a year and a half. Been teaching for about a year and a half, and this will be my third time teaching CST 300 writing lab.
Great, thank you, Brian. David, want to introduce yourself? David, we couldn't hear you.
All right, am I think I'm unmuted now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so my name is David Wisniewski, and a little bit of background on myself. I graduated a long time ago from the University of Colorado with a degree in computer science. You can probably tell that by looking at the top of my head. And while I was at school, I did an internship. IBM at that time had a laboratory close by the university, and a lot of students would work part-time there. And on graduation, I went to work for IBM and worked there for the next 33 years, coming out to California. And I retired a couple of years ago and decided to do part-time teaching. And so I've been teaching a couple of computer science and math courses. And I just finished, or am finishing, teaching software engineering for the online program here. So in your sequence of classes you take, you probably won't be seeing me for probably another year and a half, because this software engineering will probably be one of the last courses that you take. I would just encourage everybody, I mean, this is an online class, and so much more than in a classroom environment. Sometimes the instructors have a hard time figuring out what's on your mind. So make use of the Q&A form that you'll probably hear about on iLearn. Some of us have online office hours. I mean, please don't be afraid to show up if those hours aren't convenient, because I know a lot of you, in addition to taking this online class, are probably working, maybe taking other classes, and you probably have family and personal lives and things like that. So, email us if you have questions, concerns. We are there to help you as much as possible. We just have to know what kind of help you need. And I think the online environment is really good. It's very flexible, but do, make sure that you go and get help. Don't wait until, if the assignments are due on Wednesday night, get started on them early so you can have time to get help.
Thank you, David.
What else? Is there anything else I left out?
A lot. You're 35 years in IBM.
Oh, yeah, I did. Wow. Okay, I won't go into all the details of all the but yes. Yeah, what I did at IBM was I worked in relational databases, doing development and planning for that. And then I also worked on web server applications, Tomcat, OpenJPA.
Yeah, so you will find out about half of your courses will be taught by professors that focus more on teaching and research on campus. The other half will be taught by professionals that have years of experience in computer science or IT. So that mixture make the program both very solid in theory and also well connected to the industry. And David is kind of one of the exceptions. He is good at both. So we're really happy to have him here. Kayla, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am actually currently a teaching assistant through the program. I have been working closely with the computer science online program since last August, since it started, actually. And what I've been doing is mainly TA stuff, but starting in January, I will be working closely with Claudia as an administrative assistant. So you guys will probably get some contact or information from me once the new year starts, and I will always be a point of contact. I graduated from CSUMB from the face-to-face computer science program, so I know all of the classes you guys are taking, and I look forward to working with you, and I'll definitely be here for a while. So, yeah.
Okay. Cassandra will be the TA of your first class. She is also finishing her degree here.
Hi, everybody. Like Dr. Tao said, my name's Cassandra. I'm going to be your TA, so that means if you have any questions about the class or the assignments or just general questions, I can answer most of them for you. My contact information is going to be on the iLearn site. Also, I'll have office hours, but I haven't scheduled them yet, so you'll get an update from me when I have them for you. And that's pretty much all. I'm here to support you in any way I can, so feel free to email me or just talk. I'm here, so don't be afraid to approach me because I can help you out.
Thank you, Cassandra. Jesse. Yep. Professor Jesse Cecil, he teaches our software design class, and as his class is really well liked and well organized. The students keep telling me that. So Jesse, can you introduce yourself and greet the new students?
Yeah. Good morning. As Dr. Tao said, I really enjoy working with you in this program in software design. We'll be working with the Java programming language, creating a lot of neat applications. We'll also do some work with, anyway, some more involved, more in-depth programs with Java. So I'm glad that you've had experience with either C++ or Java coming into this cohort, and I'm really looking forward to working with you. Thank you for being part of this program, and it's a joy to work here.
Okay, and maybe Jesse, tell us maybe from your perspective, what are how students should prepare to be successful in your class?
Yes, well, programming skills are certainly a must in that particular class, and so we'll be looking at your object-oriented programming skills and working within a group and whatnot. So there's a lot of importance placed upon that, as well as UML diagrams and that kind of thing. So working together, brushing up on those skills. If you haven't done Java before, that's okay, but we'll be hitting the ground running and moving pretty quickly. If you have worked with that before, that'll be great. You'll have a little bit of advantage as we get started. But the skills that you have and a depth of a language will help you to move forward and be able to make that transition easily. So, yep, study hard, and these classes come quickly, so there's no chance of slowing down. Just make sure that you're doing the reading and watching the videos that are for the lectures and putting in your hard work every week, and you'll be successful.
That's great. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Let's see if any other faculty. So some other faculty might join us a little bit later. That's good. So why don't we take a very short break? Have Kayla, can you help us to put the student PowerPoint ready? Then we were going to call upon you following that PowerPoint order for you to introduce yourself about a minute or two. And we're going to share this with all the other faculty. So you might want to kind of give an overall of your experience, your expectation, and again, like I said before, give us a little of your own, kind of let us know you as a person. Okay, let's take a 2 minutes break, and then we'll start to introduce each of the students. So go ahead and get them started.
All right, so are you guys able to see the screen just fine? Just to double check?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Michael. Michael, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and walk through your PowerPoint and then let me know if you need me to change the slide.
Okay. My name is Michael Goss. I live in the Los Angeles area. I actually transferred from Cal Poly Pomona, and I'm 20 years old. So I've had an interest in computer science for a really long time. Probably the earliest account of discovering programming was probably back in second grade when I found out what BASIC was, the basic programming language. Obviously, back then I had no idea how it works or how to code in it, but something about it definitely caught my attention. And that sort of sparked everything between now and then. Right now I'm currently employed as a web developer at a company in the Los Angeles area. it's not the greatest job, but it's definitely, it's definitely a good starting point for me. I work real closely with e-commerce websites, particularly Magento, if any of you guys have heard of it. It's not something I want to pursue for the rest of my career, e-commerce, but like I said, it's definitely a good starting point. In my spare time living in Los Angeles, I have a lot of time, so I do volunteer around 40 hours a month volunteering at the sheriff's department. I go on a patrol and do some real fun stuff there. So it's a cool experience. And in my spare time, I wouldn't consider myself a gamer per se, but I do play CSGO. That's the one game I do play. Next slide. So like I mentioned, I had a passion for programming for a long time, and I feel this is where I belong. This is what I want to do with my life. I began taking it more seriously in high school, tinkering with different languages. I started back in maybe 9th grade, tinkering with Objective-C back when the iPhone and the App Store was just coming to life. But more recently, I like working with server and client-side stuff. So like I posted in the PowerPoint, Golang, which is a newer sort of language, JavaScript for web applications, both front and back end, Java, which I picked up from Cal Poly. And then lately I've been tinkering around with C++ a little bit. And right now I'm trying to work on a personal project in my spare time that kind of combines those three technologies, JavaScript, C++, and then a framework called Ember.js, which is based on JavaScript. And then finally, my expectations for the course. I've taken an online course before, back in 12th grade in high school, and I've taken one or two in college. I love the experience of it. As the faculty mentioned, the flexibility of it, the convenience, and one thing I'm definitely looking forward to is collaborating with my peers. That's something I didn't really find was too easy or too focused on at Cal Poly Pomona. And so I'm definitely hoping that, that's the core part of the CST or the Cal State Monterey Bay Online program. And that's about it.
Program. Great, Michael. So before the next one, I invited another faculty coming in our office to introduce himself. That's that camera.
Hey, so all the students are there, right?
Yes.
So hello, everyone. So very nice to meet all of you, even though it's virtually. So I'm a faculty at the CS department here, and I also teach an online program. So I've taught the computer networks course, and most likely I will be teaching the same course when you guys take it, which is CST 311. And I'm teaching the algorithms course now, beginning in January, and that is for the first cohort of students who joined. So the next year, around the same time, you might be seeing me one more time for the algorithms course that I'll be teaching. So.
And in my opinion, the algorithm is the hardest class. So it's nice to hear. Okay, thank you, Anand.
Thank you.
They will see a lot of you. Thank you, Anand. Okay, sorry for the interruption, but Anand was teaching the on-campus class, so he can only drop by now. Good, let's move on to the next student.
Faye, I think you're in here.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So my name is Faye, and I live in LA. I'm 21 years old, and I originally graduated high school and wanted to do a bachelor's in mathematics, but I was told by many people that I should go into education and enjoy it. So I went abroad for about a year and a half, and I studied education. I obtained like a teacher's credit or certificate, and I went into it. I didn't really like it so much, so I decided to go back to school. And now I'm back in school for computer science, which is what I really wanted to do. And yeah, that's that. So can I go on to the next slide? Thank you.
Yeah.
So like I said, I currently work as a teacher. I'll probably be doing that for the rest of this year and maybe next year, but hopefully not. And I've also done a couple of internships in computer science. My most recent one was this past summer, where I worked in an audiovisual hardware company, and I tested a lot of their software, and I created a lot of programs that were compatible with their hardware, so that it would be a more simple user interface. And I updated their VB6 programs to C#.NET. I've mostly done work in C++ so far, but I've also taken a couple classes in Java. My internships were, I think, all done in the .NET framework, so I'm pretty familiar with those. And then I've done a couple other scripting languages, but I'm most comfortable with C++.
Next slide.
Yeah.
Exciting. You have quite a bit of experience coming in. Which country did you go to for the last year and a half?
It was about 2 years ago now already. But I was there. I was in the Middle East. I was in Israel, Lebanon, all around there. It was an interesting program.
Oh, great.
So in this program, I really, I'm also, like Michael said, I'm excited to work in a collaborative environment. I didn't find that so much in the classes I've taken so far, which I've taken at San Jose State University, and then a couple of online classes. And I also hope to be able to graduate and work work as a software engineer in a computer company. That's that.
That's exciting. I actually started off as a math major and switched to computer science as well.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you are looking forward to that collaboration, because we work really hard to make sure that is part of the program, and
yeah,
our current student, although they all enjoyed it, but they all feel that it's an important part of the program, but it is have its difficult part. So we know it, but I'm glad that you are prepared to do that.
My bachelor's is in math and my master's in computer science, so I have that same experience of math and computer science, so it's a nice switch.
Okay, Brian Brooks, are you here? I don't see you in the list. Okay, so let's just walk through his slides really quick. He is Brian Brooks. He's 38 years old, husband and father, and he was born and raised in California. He does jet engine flight testing. Yes, I fly on both of those aircrafts. No, I'm not a pilot. Experience, he has an AS in computer science and has been working with computers for 34 years. Operates and maintains the computer systems that collect data during engine testing on 2 flight test beds, and plays computer games and builds computers for fun. And his goal is to complete the computer science degree he began working on in 1994. And the next person is Wissa Wakar? Are you here? All right. They were born and raised in Thailand and been in the United States for about 5 years. They have 2 jobs, a chef and a Lyft driver. Never worked in the computer field, but they've taken classes, online classes for programming, C++, Python, Java, and web development, Android development. And they have a lot of interest in programming and technological stuffs. They want to pursue interest in computer science and software development, and they would like to work in the technical field one day. Mike Smith?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Mike Smith. I'm also in the LA area near Santa Clarita. I'm from Buffalo originally, West Atlantic, New York. And I'm looking for a career change, a midlife career change. I'm 55 years old. I got the 2-year degree last year from the College of the Canyons in Valencia. I also got a certificate in website development from the same school. And way back in '98, I got a C programming certificate. And a really long time ago, I got a BSEE from SUNY Buffalo in 1982. So I've been around for a while. I'm currently the webmaster for a church in New York. We designed the site from scratch, and then I maintain it every week to add content. Uses the usual cadre of tools. And I worked for 25 years for an aerospace company called Northrop Grumman. My job was to be a software system engineer, which was to write software requirement specs and interface control documents for a couple of well-known bombers, the B-2 and the A-6. That was a good job to have. And this was a hard slide to make, but I'm looking for a good experience. I'd like to build a portfolio that I can shop around. I'd like to learn more skills. I need some guidance from the program on how to handle my shortcoming on operating systems. I don't have it yet. And if all goes well, I hope to get the BSCS in a couple of years.
So,
That's great.
thank you.
Sure.
Jacqueline? Jackie? Don't think she's here. Okay. Jackie is married and has 2 kids, also with a full-time job. She has an AS in graphic design. Let's see. She's a receptionist for a company because there's not work for designers around her area. She's done a little bit of Python programming and some HTML, and she's currently taking a Harvard course for Intro to Programming and learning some more C++. Her knowledge with programming has come through her own pursuit of learning. And she's worked as a media specialist, which was her jumping off point into programming. Her expectations are to complete this program and rule the world. And she hopes to have an understanding of computers, programming, and the ability to utilize her knowledge and incorporate it into real-world applications. Allie? Allie is not able to attend today. So she's 27 years old and living in LA. She's originally from Pakistan and moved to the US in 2009. And she's been taking classes since 2009 to finish her bachelor's degree in computer science. She's currently working as a product support engineer at Panasonic. She has experience with C, PHP, MySQL, and Objective-C, but never has worked as a developer. And she has to review logs and scripts, which are mostly written in PHP in her current position. She's been taking online classes at other universities, and she is planning to view this session. Jan Patrick? Graduated from San Diego State with a BS in Foods and Nutrition. Graduated from San Diego Mesa College with an associate's in Culinary Arts and Hospitality Management. Wants to go on a different career path, so they chose the computer science field. They've taken Visual Basic and C++ programming at San Diego Mesa College, and they hope to get their BS in computer science so they can gain knowledge to become successful in this field. Lawrence?
Hello, can everyone hear me fine?
You are a little quiet.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I am Lawrence Dizon. Next slide, please. Okay. So, I am 22 years old. I'm originally from the Philippines, but I moved to America at the age of 1. I live in San Jose, California. I recently graduated from high school of the year 2012. I also recently attained my global arts degree from De Anza Community College, and now I'm hoping to continue my higher education at CUSU MB at this program. I'm currently between jobs at the moment. I'm helping my sister with her children and my newborn niece. I do not have any overall professional experience in the computer science field, but I have been interested in the field since middle school. I've been learning tips and tricks about the programming and coding languages since then. I have only, though, recently went into it more enthusiastic since beginning college because I wasn't completely sure where I was going to go to until, well, then. Um, I'm proficient with C++. Most of my courses at the end was dealing with C++. I have only taken a couple courses dealing with Java and HTML, and that's pretty much where all my coding knowledge lies right now.
Oh.
Next slide, please. And overall, I'm hoping for this program to improve my skills and allow me to become a very competitive employee in the job scene of the computer science. I'm also looking to have a good time with everybody in the next 2 years. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. Ryan?
Yeah, hi. So can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. My name is Ryan Westerhoff, and I'm from Santa Barbara. I recently attended Santa Barbara City College and finished my associates a couple weeks ago. It looks like a lot of people are pretty close to the area, which is kind of cool to see. I work as an event technician, which is a really fancy way of saying that I'm a roadie. So a lot of the places that you guys are all from, I go to pretty frequently and run shows, either concerts, corporate meetings, that sort of thing. And when they don't have me being a road warrior, I like to sit in my garage, do woodworking, shelves, countertops, that sort of thing, and hike on the islands that are out on California. Next slide, please. So because my job is somewhat technical, but not so much related to computer science, I try to find areas to practice my education in my profession. And a lot of that sort of culminates in making things that connect all these various pieces of hardware together. Since computers are becoming much more prevalent in what I do, instead of just individual boards and hardware, it's nice to see this level of integration, and I'm trying to get my hand into that so that I can maybe move into that later. I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but that's definitely a career path for me. Besides that, I like to do game theory, not so much actual like 3D design and things like that. That's miserable for me. I have no artistic ability whatsoever, but the mathematical design of games is really interesting to me. Last slide, please. I'm hoping for a couple of things out of this class, or out of this course. The first being that maybe I can pick a direction that I want to go in my life. As great as AV is, a lot of the road cases are heavy, and I weigh 150 pounds, and I don't feel like doing that for the rest of my life. So I would like to do something that's a little bit less detrimental to my body. Although it is great to stay in shape, just going to work every day. That's cool. I'm not complaining about that. Some of the things I might like to do is I might like to be a city college instructor one day, or perhaps a university instructor. My mom was a teacher for like 36 years or something, and I really value education. I think it's really interesting the way that it's trending now. We have courses and things like this that 10 years ago didn't exist. I mean, certainly when I left high school, there was nothing like this, or anything that was online when I left high school was some silly maybe quasi degree type thing. So it's nice to see this, and with the integration of technology and sort of the globalization of education, I'm pretty interested in seeing where that goes, and would potentially like to pursue that as a career. Thank you guys for listening to me.
Thank you, Ryan. The next person is Joe.
Hey guys, I'll apologize in advance, of course. Right at the time I need to speak, there's someone outside with a blower blowing leaves outside. So the joys of online stuff. So hi, my name's Joe Sarabia. I live in Chico, California, so a different part of the state than most everyone else, it seems. Chico's about halfway between the San Francisco Bay Area and the border of Oregon, home of another CSU school and also Sierra Nevada Brewing. Hobbies, I enjoy travel. I play a little bit of the ukulele, and I'm into home automation. I recently got an Amazon Echo, and I've been playing with integrating Alexa skills with stuff around the house, which is fun. Next slide, please. So CS experience, I'm I guess officially a transfer student from Moore Park College, although I finished that maybe 12, 13 years ago. So I've taken a break to do career stuff. And professionally, I've held a variety of roles, but in the last 6, 7 years or so, I've been working at enterprise software companies. I spent about 5 years working at VMware, based in Palo Alto. I was living in San Francisco at the time. And this was mostly working with customers on designing and implementing large-scale virtualization infrastructure systems. And subsequent to VMware, I am now working as a technical architect for Amazon Web Services, and actually in our training and certification group. So, we're trying to figure out problems of how to train millions of people as efficiently as possible. So yeah, kind of working in education on some level, but I deal with it in different facets, more behind the scenes. It's a full-time job. I'm based here in Chico. I work from home, so this is exciting. This program is exciting because now I can work and go to school both in my pajamas. I travel about 25% of the time, so this program is really great for that, because the challenge in trying to find, is I'm sure many of you others can attest to, it's challenging to find undergrad distance learning type programs. And because I travel and sometimes my schedule is unpredictable, that makes it hard for traditional learning. So it's really a good fit for me. Next slide. So expectation wise, I touched on it a little bit. I, like others, have been trying to finish a bachelor's for a long time and haven't found a good program to do it. So, one of the expectations is just the flexibility to work around my work schedule to get things done. Happy to do learning and attend from the road, and it sounds like this is a good fit for that. Also interested in learning some sort of popular modern high-level language like a Python or a Ruby, or even maybe like Golang or something. This was not predominant in CS curriculum, at least when I was doing my associate's degrees. And then lastly, I'd say, an expectation I have is to gain more insight into common software development practices in modern enterprise software companies. I traditionally have been focused more on the customer side and not so much on, all the stuff that happens before a piece of software hits a customer and then they actually try to use it to do something. So, where I go from here, kind of aspirations, that's a good question. I really want to get a master's degree of some sort, but I need to get a bachelor's first. And, I think that product management could be interesting. I feel like, my time at VMware, there was a huge disconnect between what customers were trying to do and what the software actually did. And although arguably VMware introduced an industry, I think they missed a big opportunity, and now others have essentially pushed them aside. So it'd be interesting to work in that space and help solve those problems.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. You bring a lot of experience to the program. That's great.
The next person is Judy. Okay. Judy lives and works in San Ramon, and she has 2 kids in college. Her husband and herself also work for AT&T in the Technology Operations Organization. She's had 18 years of experience in the information technology industry. started in desktop server support and transitioned into application manager. Most of her experience with computers has been on the infrastructure side, building computers, servers, troubleshooting, and application. Her team supports internal clients for corporate real estate, human resources, and enterprise purchasing. She doesn't have much experience with programming, just from what she's learned in school, and she has an AS in Information Management Systems from Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill. She's a full-time employee, so the online degree is the only option for her. She's very motivated to learn and do better in school. She's taken many online classes and she's comfortable with distance learning. She has no issues burning the midnight oil to complete her assignments, and she hopes to learn and meet course deadlines. Samuel Roy? Sam, are you there? Okay. Let's go through his slides. He's from sunny San Diego, and he's 23 years old, trying to finish his bachelor's degree. He loves chess, hiking, tennis, etc. Fun fact, he's a great photographer. He works in the IT field, currently as a systems administrator, has a decent amount of experience with computer science from taking a few different classes, and codes in his spare time and with scripting at work. And his expectations are to become fluent in one or some computer languages, expand his IT repertoire, and attain a bachelor's degree as fast as possible. Shaker? Okay. Shaker has a BS in physics from Cal Poly, and he's getting his second BS in computer science here with all of you wonderful people. He has middling competence with Python, MATLAB, Java, C++, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, and he's very enthusiastic about developing these skills. By the end of this degree, he hopes to feel comfortable with creating application software and video games. Hugh? Okay. He's born and raised in San Jose, 25 years old. He's Vietnamese American, loves coding, and loves food even more. He's currently a part-time server at a Japanese barbecue restaurant, studied computer science at De Anza College, and is fluent in C. He hopes to gain more experience to apply and be able to apply it to real-world situations, make new opportunities, and receive his degree. Luke? Okay. He's been working in the medical information technology field for the last 6 years. He's written numerous scripts, a few window applications, augmented server side in Java, and other odds and ends. The majority of his work experience is in IT or other technical jobs. He's looking forward to getting a formal education with programming, and he's largely self-taught, so there are knowledge gaps that he's hoping to fill in. Joshua? Okay. He's a swim coach and pool attendant from I don't even know how to say that. You could something? He has average experience with C++ and Microsoft Visual Studio, basic knowledge of HTML5 programming, Java programming, and 3D modeling with Maya. Hasn't done any computer science work for about a year. His expectations of the program is to increase knowledge of C++ with emphasis on game creation, and also to get a better understanding of the coding that goes into the networking would be nice. Okay. That is all the PowerPoints I have. If you sent one in, I just wasn't able to add it right away. So is there anyone that I missed? I think I saw a couple people add.
Well, this is Augustine, but I didn't send it in, but I can give a brief explanation about myself if you like.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Augustine Preciado. I work for a utility here in Southern California. I'm 39 years old. I am currently a system integration architect for the company. Proud father of a 7-year-old. I actually look forward to improving my programming skills. It's been a while since I've last programmed. I actually attended Cal Poly Pomona before I dropped out to take on a developer position with HP. So this is just a personal goal of mine, just to complete my degree. So.
Okay, thank you. Let's see here. Anyone else?
He called me. Called him back.
Okay.
Very good. Let's see, we have a few minutes. Let's take a 4 minutes break, and 9:50 we'll come back, and we will go through the description of the program, the design feature, the list of courses you're going through, and then talk about how do you plan to be a successful online student. Let's take a 4 minutes break.
feel that yawn. Nice yawn there, Joe.
Thanks.
Okay, let me share. I share my screen. I'm going to do this one. Okay, hello everyone. Let me go. Stop sharing. Okay, let's stop sharing for now. How do I make sure I'm on the spotlight? Just
double click. Yeah.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Okay, so the next about 10-20 minutes, I'm going to tell you the unique design and your experience going through the program for the next 2 years also. Before that, but I want to give you a little bit of overview of the university. CSUMB is a younger campus of the CSU. There are 23 campuses, and CSUMB is the 21st. It started in 1995 in Monterey. It's a wonderful place. First thing you have to know that even you are taking online classes, you are always welcome to come on campus. It is a beautiful campus. It's about a mile from the ocean. It's next to the kind of world-renowned the Monterey, the beach, the Big Sur, the wonderful thousands of acres of mountain biking area behind the campus. So welcome to come to campus, have coffee with me and faculty and other faculty, come to our building. So this is the physical campus is also your campus. So make sure you know that. And depends on if you believe in ranking or not. About a couple of weeks ago, U.S. News and Report ranked all the hundreds of public university on the western part of the United States. And the CSUMB, even as a young campus, we ranked number 18. So that is, I thought we were going to rank top 10, but 18 is good. 18 is good. So we are, the campus definitely is moving up as an innovative, rigorous, highly reputable campus. So we are all happy that we are making progress, and you should be happy that we select about more than 100 applicants. We select about 40 to come to the program. So that's to give you kind of an overview. So the campus are a bit different from other campus. The campus that a lot of faculty attracted here because the campus try to be very innovative, very technology driven, very multidisciplinary, and very social justice oriented. So these are kind of the design feature of the bigger campus. We try to implement that also. So the program try to be interdisciplinary. You will learn that this is a computer science program, but a lot of media technology related in building like web design. We do a lot of, for example, PHP. We do Python to manipulate the media. And also, many classes will have a project. The vision or the wish we like the student to have is that not only we learn by doing, but we learn by working on real project that can impact other people's life. So that kind of where we want the student to embody the idea is that we learn by making a difference. So during your study, you'll go through a few projects, especially with service learning. You will find a government agency, a school, a nonprofit, some kind of organization you can provide your skills and knowledge to help them. And towards the end of your study, you will do a capstone. And that is a professional level software or a IT service that is culminating your whole experience. So I want to kind of embody that we are here to learn, we're here to build skills, but also we're here to be, have a contribution back to the society, because one way or the other, we are all privileged to have this opportunity to learn in this discipline and this program. So with that kind of encouraging pep talk, let's go through the program. Okay, let's go through how the program is designed. So Kayla, can you help to monitor the chat and let me know if the people come up with questions?
Yes.
Good. If you have a question, just put on the chat and we will answer them as soon as we can. So let me switch the share screen to, okay.
Thank you for letting me know that you were here, Sam and Wayne.
Okay. So can you see the, okay, Debbie? You are not seeing the screen. Okay.
They are though.
Okay, good. So I'm going to use this document to kind of guide and walk you through the program. So you probably know, but the program is designed to be, every class is try to be very consistent in terms of its format and time. So each course is a 4 unit and it's 8 weeks long. So your entire study is always consistent of that type of learning. When you only take one class at a time, as usually be, some of you have to take prerequisite class from other places, but in the primary learning, your computer science degree is only one course at a time. And each course is 4 units. And a student will take class usually with a team of 3 to 5 students. So the team, we would like the team to have at least half an hour of team meeting every week. The team will decide when to meet, and we encourage people to use Google Hangout. We are very Google-centric campus. We use Google. All the email you receive, the cshmb.edu, is based upon the Google technology. Mm-hmm. And Google Hangout is the default way we collaborate online, including audio, video, and text. If you install the Google Hangout on your phone, then you can do that as a group chat, and that's a very effective way to do collaboration. Almost all students use Google Calendar and Google Doc as the way to collaborate. So collaboration is a signature strength. Also is a very strong tool for us to learn.
Yeah, the Google apps for education include Google Slides and Google Sheets, and those are all something that you can work on simultaneously with each other. So it can help for future projects if you have a presentation or some sort of paper you need to do as a team. And that's all included with your CHMB account.
You will use the Google Doc, including the actual Google documents and Google Slides and Google Sheet extensively in the program. So one thing you can prepare between now and the official start of the program in January is to get to know the Google Doc environment as much as possible. Okay. And you will be in classes with the same group of students. Most of probably your study will be the same group of students. You'll know them well. You will be in a team, but often we will have collaboration among the different teams. So they not only will help you to study better, and often they become a potential partner in the future in your career. So know them well. I always kind of encourage a student that if you can learn as much from your classmate than from the teacher, then you get the most out of the program. So open up, know your classmate, and all of them bring wonderful experience, wonderful asset to the program. And as this student monitor, this sounds wrong, but we use this iLearn system. So every time you check in, check out, when do you submit your assignments, we keep the data so we can help the student. We also can use that to improve the program. And so this is important part. So how much do you plan to spend in the program? This is crucial for you to do that time management. It will make or break your study. So our expectation is that you spend 12 to 18 hours a week on your study. And if you my recommendation is that you spend about 2 hours every night plus 1 day of the weekend. So that will give you about 16 to 18 hours, and that should be enough to to understand all the material and get a good grade. If you really are already familiar with that subject, for example, you are already doing a lot of Python programming, when you take the Python class, you might only take 12 hours. But if you don't have 12 hours a week during the next 2 years, you will struggle. So make sure now is the time to talk to your supervisor if you're going to take some time during the work hour, the company allow you to do so, or you need to talk to your family. Let them know on a weekday or week 1 day of the weekend, it looks like you are there at home, but your whole mind is in this virtual space studying, and they need to know this is a serious study, and they need to support you to give you that time. So during the first class, we are going to ask you to look at your schedule and block out at least 16 hours a week to do the study. So that's crucial. So you should start to look at your calendar to reserve that amount of time every week.
Mike, logging into iLearn, we're not 100% sure when you guys will get access to the iLearn course. As of right now, it is open for guest access, and Claudia sent you a link in the same email with the Zoom information. So exactly that one.
Wow, that's good.
And what you will use to log on to iLearn is your Otter ID. So it's normally the first 4 letters of your last name followed by some numbers and then whatever password you have. And you would just go to that ilearn.csumb.edu and log on. So I can give my information at the end of this meeting and then try and, if you guys wanted to meet with me to talk about it, how to get to iLearn and all of that, I can help you with that.
So we open up the iLearn to allow guest access. So I encourage everyone look at the group chat. Michael is nice enough to include the link. Click on the link and you should be able to log in either as yourself, but more than likely you probably can log in as a guest. So towards the end of this session, I would like everyone to go there and take a look. We will actually show the screen and introduce the environment a little bit.
The guest access doesn't require you to do anything. If you click on that link, it will just show the class. Up in the top right corner, there will be a login link. And if you wanted to try, if you know your Otter ID and your password, and if you wanted to try that, then you can try and see if it works. But as of right now, I don't believe it's going to work.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue. So other than this, the first class, CSD 300, all other classes start on a real-time interactive orientation like this one on Saturday morning. So that Saturday morning is beginning of each class. Then the official class will open a few days afterwards. So Claudia will send all of us a detailed class schedule for the next 2 years, and you should start looking at your calendar and reserve those 90 minutes in the morning on every 8 weeks. Of course, we're going to record it, so in case you are really on the plan or for some reason you couldn't participate, you have to watch this video, but I can tell you that watch the video afterwards is just not very interesting. So I highly encourage you to block out the time and participate the orientation on that Saturday morning every 8 weeks. So we designed a course that 8 weeks course is between every week start on the Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning you will log into the iLearn system and you will see a video. Faculty will say hi, kind of reflect what happened last week, what's going to be going on in the next week, and any feedback they give you the whole class. Usually pretty short. Then from that point on, you can see that every week it goes through a pretty typical pace. There's a set of video or text reading. There's some discussion, and there's some assignment and homework. And often there is a kind of teamwork. The teamwork could be producing a code together, or evaluate other people's code together, or have come to some kind of conclusion on the discussion topic. Then most of the assignment is due on the Tuesday of next week. So kind of the every module start on the Wednesday morning, the module is released, and most of the assignment is due 5 minutes before midnight, the Tuesday next week. So that's kind of the rhythm. The way we design it, the reason we design it is that we keep the kind of weekend in the middle, because many of you are working full time, so we can allow you to study a more concentrated study during the weekend. So starting on Wednesday and on Tuesday, that kind of repeat every week. Quickly though, the faculty and TA and support staff, we meet every week to discuss the progress of class. So even your classes that I'm not teaching, or some support staff are not monitoring, we actually know all the learning experience you're going through. Okay. Every class have a teaching assistant or tutor. So if you are comfortable working with faculty directly, that's wonderful. But often if you have some simpler question, the TA will be online to help you. We get at least 10 hours a week TA. So you always have the faculty and the TA to help you with programming or solving any of the academic problem. And feel free to use them. And let me see. So you will be, I will send an interesting link to you. We have 3 students that allow us to use their learning journal. You will see they are about 4 or 5 months away from graduation. So they keep their journal every week describing what they have learned in the program, what difficulty they went through, how they reflect upon their different learning every week. And that learning journal is kept it should be kept by every student, and some of you are going to ask you to share that with all the other students. So the learning journal will go on for the next 100 weeks, and that you can often that's become an important tool for you to reflect upon all your own learning. Okay. The last thing is that a survey. The weekly survey will be sent to the students, sent to you every week. It's only 5 questions, takes about a minute, but we want to continue to get your input so we can improve or modify the program. So I just want to give you a heads up that's coming every week. Let me see, any questions so far? If you have questions, just welcome to put into the group chat. Quiet. That's good. Okay, let's move on. And I'm going to go through the academic design of the program to make sure that you understand how do we, what assumption we have, and what are classes you're going to go through. So welcome to ask any question. So we assume every student have the highlighted area. So if you haven't have it, you need to do it as soon as possible. Okay? You need to finish all of them as soon as possible. We assume everyone have done the California General Education. If you already have a bachelor degree, you are assumed to have that. So if you have a bachelor degree, don't worry about it. You should have discrete math done, or discrete, there's some places call it discrete structure. So some place called it logic. So this is the math for the computer. You're supposed to have Calc 1 done. Calc 2, you can use statistics to replace Calc 2. If you're thinking about going to graduate school in engineering or science, Calc 2 is highly recommended. If you're thinking about going to business, statistics better. I personally like statistics. I believe it's more applicable. But if you're going to think about going to graduate school in engineering or science, Calc 2 is a prerequisite for many, many of their classes. We assume everyone have taken those pair of programming classes in C++. It's a place is called CS1, CS2. Here we call it CS231 and CS238. 231 is introductory class. 238 is some places call it object-oriented programming. Some places call it data structure. Okay. So we assume people have a pretty solid but basic programming skills. Let me see, there's a question. So the CST237 operating system, I think the question, I'm a bit confused. The 237 is a, I got it wrong. So let me replace this. It is computer architecture. Let me see. I got this wrong. Thank you for pointing it out. Okay. Okay. So the operating system, some places call it Linux and Unix, and the computer architecture. So these are the 4 computer science prerequisites we require. Yes, so Mike, we almost all community college offer this class. So send the question to Claudia. We have a list of classes to send to you if you need to finish that. Okay. So Mike, are you particularly interested in operating system or computer architecture?
Yeah, my school does not offer that. I need to find it somewhere else.
Which class are you referring to? Because the 237 is computer architecture.
Yeah, operating systems.
Operating system. Okay, send an email to Claudia and we will send a list of recommended classes to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, Faye.
Faye
said Foothill College has an online class.
Very good. Hey.
Yeah, I found it there. They have 3 classes. They call it 30A, 30B, and 30C. I didn't know which one to do.
I don't want to give you the information right now because I might make a mistake. So send that to Claudia. We have a list, and she will send it to you, the recommended class.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the question is that this 238 is also considered object-oriented programming. In many places, the naming is not consistent. The 238 really is the second class in the C++. Some place call it object-oriented programming. Some place call it data structure. But it should cover some basic object-oriented programming plus the data structure like linked list, array, trees, and basic algorithm. And most community college offer that class. So depends. So if you have questions, send the actual course description to us, and Claudia will let you know if a class is eligible to replace 238. Okay. Roderick? Good?
Good. I understand.
Yeah. So the campus will offer a complete online 237 class in the summer. But be careful, that will be double up your study. Some student will choose to take that as elective towards the end of the study. So that's definitely an option because the computer architecture class, although it's important, is not a prerequisite to other classes. Okay, let's move on. Very good. So take a look at, we are in the spring start. So take a look at, this is kind of, at a glance, the entire study you have. Starting in January, February, that's, again, you can see that the design is every 8 weeks or every 2 months is one course. You'll start with the CST 300, and that is a extensive orientation to both the academic field and to the professional field. So we will study the overall field of computer science and the software engineering. We will connect every student to some kind of professional organization. We know what kind of profession we are preparing ourselves to, and we will study how do we communicate professionally, both in the orals and also in the written form. So that is the beginning, and also it works as a orientation to the program. And in that class, one of the important outcome is the set of skills that we know how to collaborate online, we know how to learn online, and get to know all the environment of the online learning. So that's the first class. It doesn't have a lot of kind of technology instruction, but that's orientation for every student to come to the program. Then the second class is a Python. And remember, we assume every student know the basic programming already. So the class go pretty fast. We go to Python and we start using Python. Every team will do a media project. We manipulate pixel images, video, sound, and we create a little bit of animation as a video card to each other. And we learn how to collaborate online, writing program together. We learn how to use GitHub to control the version and to publish our code. So that's the Python class. After that, we will have a database. We learn the data modeling. We learn the SQL statement, and we will learn a little bit about the Oracle system administration. Then once we know the database, we use the database as a part of the internet programming. In this class, we learn primarily using PHP to connect the user interface, the HTML on the website, through the code of PHP to connect to the operating system and database. So you will know how to take the user input and interact with database to give the user the feedback. So no longer the website is just a static. This will allow the logic and the program behind the website to come alive, so to speak. Then networking is also a required class. So this is a introduction to computer network. We'll learn the network model, the TCP/IP. We'll do a little bit of network programming, and we will know how to kind of overview how network can be secured and how networks support all kind of a computer technology field. Then from that point on, we go to more advanced programming. The 338 software design is using Java, and it assumes everyone know programming well, and it go into the object-oriented programming Java and go into it pretty fast. And it will have a project at the end of the class. Then the next class is algorithm. The algorithm is a higher level programming, a higher level kind of problem solving. Let me give you an example. If you are going to have an interview with, say, Google, and often they will give you the first interview through a Skype or through a video conferencing like this, Zoom, and they will post a programming question. They will online and say, you know, this program takes too long to execute. Can you modify it? The algorithm class will give you tools to look at program, to analyze it, and say, if I change the way the program is written, I can save 90% of the running time. Or we can save enough the use of the space in memory. So the algorithm is kind of beyond the programming language, and how do you solve computing problem in the most efficient way in terms of space and time. And that is a course many students come back and say, I really need that course to go through a kind of interview, because that is a lot of question in the software engineering interview is taught or exercised in the algorithm class. Okay. So at that point, we believe that you have most of the tools to do individual programming. Then we move to software engineering. This is a class. You know how to put together a larger software system or software application in a team. Every team usually pick a project themselves, and they go through a rigorous, systematic way to design, debug, and test and report their software. And so there's a lot of software engineering beyond coding, and that class will help you to go beyond just able to write code to create a software system. And this is for a higher level of creating software. And after that, we believe that every student have enough, the programming skills within them. We do a service learning. This class, we will find either you can find yourself or the university will assign you a service learning partner. Could be a school or government agency or a nonprofit. And sometimes they have a web programming or network design, or many of them need a app, a mobile phone app, and you work with them for about 30 hours and sometimes beyond that to create a service for them. And in the meantime, learning how the skills you have can make a difference in the society. Okay. After that, the ethics and current issue, we learn what's the controversial issue in our time. Could be privacy, could be kind of cyber warfare, and how that relate to the ethics in our profession. And how do you keep our own behavior in the future in an ethical way? This class will give you a lot of kind of thought-provoking way to think about how our technology is going to impact the society, and how do you make decisions in the future when you control, say, millions of records of the user's personal data. And if, for example, if the court order you to do so, or the boss order you to do so, how do you make that decision? And also in that class, we're going to start writing the proposal for your final class capstone. And the capstone class is your grand finale. We all, each student could be individual, or could be a team up to 3, produce a large project. The large project most likely will be a piece of software. It could be even a research if you're thinking about going to graduate school. It could be a information system you implement, but it has to have a real impact. You couldn't just do it by yourself. You have to have hopefully an audience or a target audience or a client. And many students find project in their own work. Many students find project in their own kind of envisioned startup. So that will be towards the end of your study. And that's the 11 course. You finish that, you're pretty much done with your study. Some of you, if you don't have elective, the very last class will be elective. Currently, we offer 4. I think some of you, if you don't have computer architecture, that could be used as elective. You can choose a capstone, you can choose an internship, you can choose a project management, and you can choose a special topic class like mobile app development or health information system. So we will offer those once every year. So Claudia will let you know probably 6 months before what classes are available. So some of you need this class, some of you don't. And when you finish everything, you will get your degree at December 20th, 2017. Is that right? 2017. So you have a clear date. So at the Christmas of 2017, if you put in the effort, and you'll celebrate your holiday with your new degree. So that's the kind of the game plan.
And even though you guys are a fully online program, you are more than welcome to come to the campus to participate in commencement.
So commencement, unfortunately, is only happened once in May. So when you finish degree in December, you're more than welcome to come on campus. There's usually more than 1,000 students going to walk in May to receive their degree.
Takes a long time.
Yes, every name is read. And it is long, but it's a still interesting event. During that 2 years, every year there's probably 4 or 5 events like programming competition, the boot camp for technology. They are on-campus lecture series. They are on campus. A lot of presentation. You are more than welcome to participate. The first of those events is January 29th to 30th, 29th to 31st. That is on campus called Startup Weekend. In that weekend, student and professional come together to create new, usually kind of tech business, build a prototype, and present to the faculty and investor. It will be a great experience. Even you are starting, you could be a tester or project manager. So if you want to experience the campus activity, that could be the first one. And I believe the faculty will usually give extra credit if you do come on campus. Okay? So you'll receive that email pretty soon.
Faye, I'm not sure how it works with the CS Online program. I would double check with Claudia. I know for the face-to-face it does require multiple years of a foreign language, but I would double check with Claudia.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I believe people need better, to not to mislead you, because that policy is somewhat complicated.
Yes,
so ask
very
Claudia.
complicated policy.
Okay, let's see. I think those are kind of program description already online. Okay. All right, so as I promised, I'm going to copy and paste these 3 learning journal on the chat board. You can click on them. These are unedited, unscreened blogs describing Jennifer, Caroline, and Matthew's learning experience. You can go and they are in their week 60. And so they are 60 weeks ahead of you. You can they go through very similar experience. You can take a look and see how they enjoy or how they struggle, hopefully enjoy their experience. Okay? And we do, other than asking them to allow us to use their blog, we don't do any editing. We don't give them any kind of directive. So it's totally open and frank. So take a look at that. You might enjoy it. Okay, let me stop sharing my screen. So, any question? Get out of the spotlight.
Top left.
Okay.
And then top right. The little 9 boxes.
Okay, thank you. Any question? Any comments so far? Let me ask. Faye. Faye?
Yeah.
So, did you have any question or any comments so far?
I'm good, thank you.
You're totally clear about the program.
Yeah.
Wow.
So far.
Okay, I'm better than I thought. Okay, that's good.
The teams will be assigned on Monday, hopefully. Claudia and I are going to work together and put the teams together.
Do those teams rotate each course?
Not normally. Normally we try and keep the teams the same. And the only reason why we normally change them is if there are issues with the team or if people drop courses, take leave of absences, then we have to move teams around. So there isn't just one team of 2 people and the rest have 4 or 5.
Yeah, we will assign a team, but if for some reason, maybe your schedule or some other reason you really cannot work well with the team, we can switch the team. But the plan is that you stick with the team in most of the classes.
Some classes are different. Some classes, professors will put you in separate teams. And having the base team that you're going to start working with in 300 is kind of just a good fallback on if you're getting stressed out with your new team. And it's kind of a way to have just like a small group of people that you stay connected with.
Any other question? Let me see. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
So I just want to make sure you pay attention. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a fidgety person.
So do you have any question or any comment?
Yeah, I have a comment actually. I really like the way this is laid out. We could see the way the classes went and the order, but the way you explained it, I think it's a really eloquent layout for education, especially for what we do. So that's exciting to hear.
Yeah, we try to make the learning experience in every class consistent, so you don't have to learn a new way to learn between faculty.
Right.
So often because online give the faculty and the campus so much freedom, when you go to one class online to the second one, you sometimes have to go through a totally different experience. So we try to make that as consistent as possible.
Right. No, I mean, I think that's great. I've looked at a couple of other, online things, and they don't seem as cohesive as this. This is exciting. This is great.
So let me ask you this question then.
Sure.
So other than CSUMB, which other program you considered?
So I never considered one for a computer science. In my area, we have a lot of technical schools that are either for sound and audio design and things like that, or like video design, stage work, that type of thing. And those are a little different. So it's not CS, but it's still online. And I suppose it's just because they're not from an actual university that has, doctors, educators, people like this that have done this for their career, and they're more people that are just from industry who may be very good teachers on their own and have a lot of valuable things to share, but aren't necessarily, formally educated in how to make a good layout for a curriculum.
Okay, thank you, Ryan.
Sorry, Augustine, I think that's how you pronounce your name.
You can call me Augie, it's easier.
Augie?
Yeah.
Okay, so the groups we do take into consideration the location of the students. And that's something that we have done for the last group as well, the last cohort, I mean. So we will try to group SoCal students with SoCal students. We actually have a couple people from the cohort before you guys who meet up weekly because we were able to group them. They go down to the Starbucks and just hang out, have coffee, and get their homework done. So
yeah, they seem quite a bit of people in Southern California, although Southern California is huge. It sometimes takes hours to reach one.
Except for Joe. He's all the way in Chico.
Okay. Good. Let's see. Lisa, do you have any question or comments?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Voss. Yes, let me firstly apologize for being unprepared to present on myself. and for perhaps giving the impression that I've been lurking in the background. But I wanted to join anyway, and I'm really excited about the curriculum. My question maybe is, did you mention any instruction on coding through the command line?
So the command line, we will have a small assignments in a couple classes, but most of the programming is in a more modern IDE. I would say like 95%. I don't think people use the command line that much anymore, although you need to know how the command line look like, right?
Okay.
That's an interesting question. Why do you ask that question?
Well, I want my knowledge to be very comprehensive. I want to be able to completely understand how to push projects, and I realize there are a lot of software that one can work with to make that happen, but I just really want a very comprehensive knowledge of how to work with my code, whether it's, you know, just, I guess I'm just curious to know how extensive and how in-depth some of the instructions going to be.
Mm-hmm. So that's a kind of good leeway to my very brief reminders for all of us. So remember, you are getting a Bachelor of Science degree. This is not only just a training for software development, right? So we have to balance the timeliness of teaching every student a tool they can they can find a job pretty quickly. We also have to balance the timelessness of a higher ed education. So we do have writing, we do have ethics, we have a lot of discussion, and the hope is that when you finish, you can build not only a job, you build a career. And with that critical thinking, with that the collaboration and communication. And that's a bit different between a bachelor degree and a code school. Code school, they can just cram out, you know, the Python. You do the Python in and out for like 6 months. But 2 years from now, not only people don't use Python, maybe no one remember what Python is, right? So the college degree had to balance both. We cover Python, PHP, Java, C++, kind of all the primary one. But the goal is that the education we receive here can last for decades. So we keep that in mind. So I know some students say, well, why do I have to take the ethics class? I'm here to learn the software design. Just give me that. Remember, the true value, when you get a little bit older, your true value, of course, is that give you that kind of more complete education. And you will be proud, not only, you know, if you go to other training school, you get a certificate, but in the CSU, you get a degree, and that degree is valuable in the whole world and will carry you for long term. So,
excellent, thank you.
That's my, okay, so let's see. Let me see if any other question, otherwise.
I have one question, if you guys don't mind me asking. Is there going to be anything on data analytics or data mining?
So
because that's kind of my forte here at my work. Is there focus on data analytics?
So database is the foundation of that. Although the data analytics, we might building an elective, but it's not a required course in the curriculum. Okay. I know that data, we call it data science. It become more and more popular, and so you will get the basic of it, the data analysis in the database class. But if you want to take that, we probably towards the end we will try to put a elective together.
Okay, that'll be great.
Okay, any other question before we take a break? After the break, I will have Kayla to spend 10-20 minutes to show us our little learning universe we call iLearn. and you will see that screen every day for 2 years.
Mike Smith, we do use GitHub, and it's actually introduced in the Python programming class, the second class that you're going to take. And that is, you can use that throughout the program, but it's introduced in 205, which is the second class. And then Ryan, what's your question?
Yes, so do you guys have any examples that you can think of off the top of your head that were like really memorable capstone projects from this?
Well,
so good question. Well, Ryan, first, now it's no longer you guys, it's we.
Do we have any good examples of
Yes, of course. The CST 300 class, there were plenty of examples that computer science students have done. You can see their code, you can see their portfolio, you can see their presentation. So there's more than you ever want to view.
Yeah.
So plenty of them, yeah.
There will be some from the face-to-face courses, though. The first cohort for computer science, the fully online that you guys are in right now, they haven't gotten to their capstone class yet.
But remember, the curriculum and the requirement of the online and on campus exactly the same.
Yep.
It's just the learning pedagogy. The pedagogy are different, but the course sequence and the capstone requirement are exactly the same. So remember, you have another 400 students taking the same class, going through the same experience on campus. Some students actually mix the on-campus with online. So it's possible, though the schedule is a bit different. So welcome to Come On Campus. In May, they will have an on-campus capstone presentation. We'll have about 60 students for the on-campus program going to present.
Okay, great, thank you.
Let's see, I want to get and
Michael Goss, I can tell you how many students are going to be enrolled, and give me just one moment.
Okay, so let's take a 5 minutes break. So during the 5 minutes, I will recommend you click on the link and see if you can log into the iLearn environment as yourself or as a guest. So when Kayla goes through overview of the learning environment, you can actually click through it around it. If you don't, that's okay. I want to give you a flavor how it looks like. Okay, so take a break. In the meantime, I'm going to bother the people I haven't talked to, like Michael, Roderick. I'm going to get their input. Okay, take a break, but then Michael Goss?
Yes.
Okay. This is similar to the classroom. I could bring you to the front of the. Hey, how are you doing? Do you have any questions or comment?
No, I was just asking how many students were enrolled. I like the fact that it. I know before you said generally 20 to 35 students. I like the fact that it's a more intimate environment, and I feel like you get to know people better, and you're not just a number. I know at Cal Poly Pomona there were 50 plus people per class, and it was just it was difficult to get to know people. You didn't have that teamwork. You weren't working in an environment where you were collaborating with people. So that was one of the draws to this program was, working one-on-one with the faculty and your peers and on a smaller scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, as of right now, there are about 36 or 37.
Okay, cool. Great.
And Sam, I think that's going to be how it is until the new year. I'm not 100% sure when they are going to get the Otter ID set up for iLearn, since your guys' course doesn't technically start until after the new year. I can try and get in contact with the people who take care of iLearn and try and figure out when they have an idea of when you guys are able to log in with your Otter ID.
Yeah, we want to get that as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you can definitely use the guest access. You just won't be able to submit assignments until you have access with your Otter ID.
The first course has a module 0, which has due dates around the first of the year. So it's pretty quick.
Yeah, the module 0 is a preparation. It's the workload is pretty light. It's for you to review what's the syllabus and get to know your team. But they are deliverable, I think, by January 3rd.
There's a resume to be done, like a group resume.
That's right.
For module 0.
That's right. So there's some real work to be done. We try to get everyone on the iLearn system, hopefully by early next week.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. Lawrence, are you there?
Yes, I am.
How come I'm not seeing your face?
I'm sorry, I don't have a webcam at the moment. I'll be planning to buy one in the future.
Oh, you have to have that.
Yes,
Yeah, this is a highly collaborative program, and people want to see your face when you disagree with them.
I understand.
Good. And let me see, who can I bother now? Sam. Sam, are you there? Uh-oh.
He can't talk. He's at work.
Oh, what kind of working environment is that?
He can just listen.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, Roderick, you'll be the last one I talk before I have a break. So, any questions, any comments? Okay, no audio.
My other mute button.
Okay.
You were one of the students who came to the retreat, right?
Yeah, I was there in August. So.
I saw you and Lisa, I think.
So, any question or comments?
No, I'm just excited to get started on everything, and I'm looking forward to getting this, getting my degree.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Claudia to send everyone a nice pennant so you can put it behind you, and people will see, when you talk, people know who you are. And you can see that we run multiple degree here in the school, and CS is our proud crowning achievement, and you're part of it. And I'm going to also ask for 3 volunteers to start blogging from January 1st. Every week, we expect people to spend about 10 minutes, just write down a couple paragraphs, what you have experienced. And we're going to, of course, use that to share with other students. For that pleasure, you're going to get this, a nice hoodie worth about $39.95. And I'm also, even to give you the one I already, no, I'm not. So I'm going to ask for volunteer for 3 of you, and we're going to share your blog, and I'm going to give this a nice hoodie to the people willing to share. Okay.
Sam,
nice.
I have a quick question. Are you officially enrolled in 300? Or just to double check so I can let the IT guys know? Okay, thank you.
Okay, and if you don't know, that's the university logo. It's an otter. And Monterey Bay is a beautiful place. It's a marine sanctuary, and it's well known for its otter and whale. And you can see that's on and off, and that's our computer science logo. If you don't know, okay, it's pretty cool.
Thank you for letting me know, Michael. I will get in contact with the IT people for iLearn, and I will have Claudia let you know next week when she comes back from.
And Faith, thank you very much. Okay,
Faye
we got.
And Augie.
Okay.
All right.
Michael, thank you very much. So I will going to Okay. So I will let Kayla run the show for the next 10-20 minutes. Should we log into?
Yeah. I need to.
Log in. Okay, go ahead. Let's have a real break for 3 minutes so we can relax a little bit.
I'm gonna do Mark this real quick so I don't forget. Okay.
Keep this set real quick. Okay, so it's okay. So everyone, I'm going to introduce another faculty. Is our wonderful new faculty. He is in the field of game development. Very exciting. He is going to teach at least one class. It's that internet programming class for you. So let me introduce Christoph Petrochev.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. So I'm teaching 336 internet programming. I have some experience with internet programming because I had 2 startups, which both didn't make me into a millionaire, but I had to program them, and they were all web-based. And I'm teaching game development, but my background is more in PHP, and JavaScript, and internet programming in general, and some web-based gaming.
And I have to drag him out. He's talking to one of his students doing my brainwave control drones.
Yeah, we are doing also brain computer interfaces and virtual reality, stuff like this.
Yeah.
So
exciting stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
it's really cool. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christoph. Okay, you can take over.
I'm going to get the computer all set up real quick, and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Let's get this started. Okay, so I'm pretty sure let's see. Something happened. Okay, so
for Dr. Tal's coffee packets.
This is what you will see when you first view iLearn. And one of the things that you will be able to definitely see right now when you go on as guest access is the Module 0 orientation. That's all you'll be able to see right now. Some of the important aspects of iLearn on the left-hand, excuse me, on the left-hand side, you have the instructors block where it gives you Dr. Tao's information, his office hours, his email, contact information, and then you have Brian's, and then Cassandra, who is your TA. This will be updated for when the class starts, so there is so there is no confusion, and you'll be able to contact everyone whenever you need to. Student resources is another important block. It gives you access to the library, which has a database full of articles that you can find, technical support, technical resources, ASAP, which is a tutoring service that CSUMB provides, and there is online help. Normally for writing, I don't think there is any help strictly for computer science, but that's why we have the TA. And then there's disability resources if you have anything, and then Personal Growth and Counseling Center, which is also for free for all students. Some of the main things, I believe either David or Jesse talked about it earlier when they were introducing themselves, was the Ask the Instructor or TA forum. We utilize this a lot. This is pretty much where you go with any question that you have, so every student can see it, just in case they all have the same question. So we will use this mainly and we will get back to your question and respond to it within 24 hours. The open forum is where you can kind of just post anything you find, any issues that you're having. It's kind of just it's a relaxed space for you guys to post things that you find that are interesting to you. The syllabus is listed already, and you're welcome to go and view it. It gives you a bunch of information on the instructors, the outcomes of the class, requirements that you need, and a sample schedule as well. And let's go back to iLearn. So as you guys noticed, there are some assignments that are due before pretty much right at the beginning of the year. This is just to get you acquainted with your teammates, and as I said before, your team will be assigned on hopefully Monday, and I will update this page accordingly. So for assignments, this little icon right here next to the weekly study time is an assignment. So if you click on this, it will give you the description of the assignment that you need to do, and it will give you a submission box when you are able to start submitting it. So because I'm not enrolled in the class as a student, I don't have that access, and you guys won't have that access until you get access to iLearn, which I will also update you next week. Forums, how they work is you open up the forum, and there's normally an initial response from a professor, and you will reply to this response. And after you reply to it, you will be able to reply to other students as well. And it's pretty straightforward with that. An very important part to iLearn is up here at the very top bar. Under course administration, you would click on grades. And this is where you will see your grades for the whole class. As modules open, more assignments will show up in the grades, and you will be able to track your process through the course here. And let's see. I think I covered most of the stuff that you're able to see right now. The module links will just help you in the future, because once modules open week by week, the page will get larger and larger. If you click on these, you'll be able to access the module quickly. So module 0, if you click it, it'll take you straight to what module 0 has, which is the outcomes. And if I were to click on module 1, it won't take me anywhere because module 1 is hidden. So does anyone have any questions? I know it's kind of difficult since you guys don't have student access yet, but do you guys have any questions? There is not a live lecture every week, but Dr. Tao and Brian, especially for 300, they will record a video weekly and post it through YouTube and post it in the module.
Can you show them the help on the iLearn video?
Yes. So I know that iLearn and Moodle can be a little confusing, but under the Help tab at the top of the page, there is a link called iLearn for Students. If you click on that, it will take you to a spreadsheet. It will take you to a spreadsheet that the IT office has created to help with walking you through iLearn and how to do things. And some of them are older videos, and Moodle and iLearn have been updated since then, but it's pretty much still the same. So it will tell you how to add an image, how to take a quiz, upload PowerPoints, use the forums, and daily activities with assignments. So everything is pretty much here for you. And as I said, iLearn has changed a little bit, but not too much. And they have printed how-tos in a Google Doc or videos for some of them. Any other questions? I know that was pretty quick.
How about checking the grade?
I did that already. Mm-hmm. For most of the classes, Lisa asked if there's instructional materials or digital, or if they're textbooks. For most of the classes, they are digital. We provide you with different articles to read or videos to watch. But some classes might require textbooks. It depends on the professor, really. Michael, yeah, Sam, there's the one live session before each class on a Saturday. Any other questions? No? Okay. I think that's everything.
That's quick. That's good. Let's see, anything else? Let me ask them. Okay, so a few things you can do even without the iLearn access is that definitely get used to how to use the Gmail system. Either you can, I think most of you already have the chumb.edu Gmail. You should get to know, if you haven't used Gmail, it has quite a few functions. You should go there and set it up, your signature, and make sure you, I highly recommend you use the calendar.
Yeah, and bless you. And as I said earlier, just in case any of you missed it, we are going to start, all of the communication will now be through your chumb.edu email after today. So make sure you have that set up. And if you don't have it set up and you are having issues, I could try to help you. I will, later on, I'll put my email into the chat box, and then you guys can email me with any questions.
And among the Google functions, of course, Gmail, you probably will use it every day. There is a Google Doc. Often when you write an essay or write the research paper, or you put together like any document, Google Doc is wonderful because up to 10 people can edit in the same time. That's the second feature that I think you have to experience. The third one is the Google Hangout. The Google Hangout is very similar to the Zoom, but it allowed a bit more collaboration. The limitation of Google Hangout is that if it beyond 6 people, the bandwidth become an issue. But with your team, that's a great tool to collaborate. So Gmail, Google Doc, Google Hangout, you should spend, I would say for people with your background, even you haven't used it, if you spend a couple hours, you probably know most of it. But get used to it. And especially get used to interact with your teammate in this environment like this. It's for a lot of people, this is different. You try to focus. Of course, many of you are multitasking, I know. You have your game and your Facebook open on both sides. But try to get to the rhythm of truly collaborate online. And this is not required, but I highly recommend you get a smartphone. You don't have to get old people's 6+ like I do, but it's big. But there's a Google Hangout you can download, and so many faculty, especially myself, my communication is multi-tiers. People want to get a one-sentence yes or no answer. They know they can Google Hangout text chat with me, and I can answer right away. Then the email, then the forum, I probably will answer within 24 hours. Email is probably 24 to 48 hours. So, so the Google Hangout, many teams use it to have real-time collaboration. It seems to be pretty effective. You can mute it so it doesn't have to bother you all the time, but having that app seems to be effective for people to collaborate. Okay.
Professor Tao?
Yes.
How about Google Drive and Google Blogger?
Yes, absolutely. You will use the Google Drive. Is the collective of all the Google Office, Office productivity. Google Drive, kind of, you can use it for storage. You can use it to store the Google Doc, Google Sheet, that's Excel, and Google Slides, that's your online PowerPoint. And many students no longer use any Microsoft Office. You can go through the whole program only using the Google software for your kind of Office software.
How about the Blogger?
The Blogger, and remember your chmb.edu account comes with all the Google services. Your learning journal, I would say 95% of the students use blogger.com to keep track of their learning journal.
Okay.
So you probably will, you have to do the assignment pretty quickly, but remember that's a bit confusing. The Blogger and Blogspot, they come pairs. You actually put your
log on to Blogger, yes, but your blog will be hosted on blogspot.com. Yeah. So there are how-to videos, and I believe Cassandra's used to telling the students how to use Blogger too. So she's well informed on the quirks of Blogger.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You good?
Yes.
Any other question about iLearn? Okay, so iLearn is primarily designed for desktop, but you can access on the mobile device.
They have a mobile site now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it keep track every time you log in, you participate in forum, when do you submit your assignments, and they keep track of the grades. So it's a good system. Also,
it's hard for students to say, oh, I submitted, you just didn't receive it, or the dog ate my homework. It doesn't happen that easily online, so be careful. The accountability is clear. Very good. So let's spend the last few minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes, to give you a brief orientation of the first class. Okay, the first class was kind of have a soft start now, but of course you don't have to log in. We try to get you logging in a few days, and the first set of assignments is due January. Tuesday, I think it's January the 5th. Okay, so you should be careful that some of the assignment will get started. Although it's very simple, I think it takes a couple hours to do it. Okay, so let's
put my contact information in the chat box really quick.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, the other thing. Oh, so the other thing I want to mention in the iLearn system, the forum, you can choose to receive an email every time someone posts the forum, or you can choose not receiving any email. You can go to forum to take a look. It's up to you. There's one forum that's called announcement that you are forced to subscribe. That means when the faculty put anything official announcement, you will get an email. Other forum, sometimes you have tens of posting every day. You might want to stop that subscription so you don't have to be bombarded by emails. So Kayla is putting her email address in the chat box, and she will be one of the major link between you and the curriculum, so feel free to contact her.
I'm quick with responding to emails, so.
Okay. So the next thing I want to, let's go through the CST 300. This 300, let me bring up the iLearn site. So Kayla has introduced the overall environment. Can you see the screen? Cassandra, can you see the screen?
I think you're on the other screen.
Uh-oh.
You're not on that one.
Let me see. Oh, okay. So that one.
Yeah, that's.
So this environment, I want to quickly go through that again. The news announcement forum, when the faculty posts important announcement there, you'll get an email, but you can always come back and check what's being announced. The first thing you start the class, you'll get instruction to put your profile. We highly recommend or require everyone to put a face there, so get a bit more social connection. The way to update this is if you click on your name, and you will be directed to a place you can click on and edit your profile. Okay, so you can see that you can put in all kind of information. So there will be assignment for you to do the profile in the very beginning. Let me go back to my class. And this will be the ask the instructor or TA will be important for. If you ask question there, we try to answer as soon as possible. If you have a very personal question, send an email. But if the question is you think other student might benefit from the answer, post it here so everyone can see it. The open forum is for students to discuss. You can put anything as long as appropriate there. You can put anything there. The faculty and TA probably won't monitor it that often. Okay. Let's take a look at the syllabus. Okay. And of course, you know the syllabus is the official, so to speak, the contract between you and the university. So even it's pretty dry, you should spend some time to look over it. The class you're going to start, the first class is CST 300. Okay. The name is called ProSeminar. The instructor is myself and Brian. Brian will be more in charge of the writing part. I'll be in charge of the lecture part. Cassandra is our TA, and we will do a quick survey of your time to decide when is the best office hour for her. If you have not went through this kind of online etiquette, we try to instill some norm into that communication. So take a look at, be careful, the email. Some of you might use email as instant message, but when you write an email to faculty, often the faculty treat that more like a regular formal mail. So you want to make sure that you present yourself in a professional and respectable way. Okay. And have a subject. You know, many people just don't want to do the subject. It's hard for faculty when we receive maybe 100 emails. It's hard for us to have a glance and decide which one to help first. In this class, there is no required textbook. All the reading are assigned online. Of course, you probably have to have the Acrobat, the reader. I believe everyone can download that easily. Okay. What do you need to have in this class? You need to have an up-to-date computer with video and audio functionality, and you will do a lot of video conferencing, so you get through mostly Google Hangout. You need to have a high-speed internet. If you have DSL or cable modem, I think you're fine. If you don't, you might want to find a Starbucks or someplace you can have that access. Because when you interact with the faculty or other student and if you share the screen, you need to have a pretty high bandwidth. Okay. Let me go through. These are the set of, well, before I go to the more detail. Brian and Cassandra, you want to kind of give your remark at the beginning of the class? Or we are fine?
Fine for now.
Okay. Cassandra?
I mean, I think we pretty much covered a lot of it. I know it's a lot of information to go over, and I don't want to, overload everyone.
Yeah, I feel it.
Before Christmas.
Yeah. Okay, let me go through. This is, yeah, I understand. So let me go through. This is important to know what you will accomplish in this class. So the Session B really focus on so-called outcome-based. That means every class is built upon a set of outcomes, and these are the outcome of the lecture. So you will conduct research to know the trend in technology. We will have a guest lecture. We'll invite industry leader to give us a talk. And you analyze a lot of article, a lot of news related to our fields. You will set your educational goal in a program and set a goal in the long run. You'll conduct information interview for people that may be your mentor or your role model or industry leaders. And you'll work with Claudia and I and other faculty to have a very precise learning plan. For you, because it's a cohort based, it's pretty straightforward. Every class you need to take is the same as everyone else. The issue you might have is the prerequisites and the elective. So Claudia will work with you clearly, then you know exactly when to take what class. Okay. And we will cover time management and project management skills. And you are required to build your calendar in a very precise way and to share with the faculty. And of course, in this class, this is an orientation class. The whole program, you understand what is the portfolio, what is a capstone, and how do you start thinking about what could be your capstone. The capstone is your senior project. And you are going to require to do a few presentations, including recording online and live presentation skills. Problem solving skills, it's kind of vague. It's later. And you will, in your learning journal, have a reflection about your own learning. And you will kind of learn and practice a lot of online collaboration and discussion. Okay? So these are what we require you or will help you to achieve in the lecture part. And Brian, you want to talk about the outcome in the writing part, in the lab part?
Yeah, I'll do that. Why don't you let me share the screen. It'll be easier for me to go through the syllabus.
I'm going to stop right now.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Let me figure out how to share the screen. Just bear with me. Where am I? Okay. Okay. Screen share. I think I got it. I think. Okay, does everybody see the screen I just shared?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. I'll be teaching the writing lab, and just really quick, the writing lab on the second paragraph, it discusses how the writing lab meets the CSUMB GWAR requirements, actually, and that's a CSU wide requirement. If you want more details on that, you can look in the catalog. So what I'm going to have, the two major projects in the writing lab are going to be an industry analysis paper and an ethics argument. And both of those papers, I'll walk you through it leading up to that paper. So everything you do in the lab will be related to and leading up to writing those papers. So there will be discussion and peer review forums. So you will be reviewing each other's work. And we will be writing this in APA, and there will be quizzes on the readings in APA. You can see the outcomes in this table and standards. I'm not going to go through all this. So we'll just look at the overview of the writing lab assignments. Like I say, the papers are research essays. So the industry analysis, you'll be designing, it's going to familiarize you with the tech industry and academic research. So in short, you're going to look at an industry of your choice and do an analysis of it. And then the ethical argument, you're going to take a technology-related issue and write a paper on that. And there will be specifications for these papers, and I really want to urge you to follow the instructions in these specifications, because that's how the rubric is, how they're going to be graded against the rubric. And the ethics paper, for example, you need to get all the components in there. A lot of people miss some of the components. So, but I'm going to walk you through it during the class and help you towards success in these two assignments. So That's about it. Are there any questions? Anybody?
Thank you, Brian. And
okay, no questions.
You can see that if you see the Brian screen, you can see down the upper right, you can see there are multiple people log into this file. This is how you can collaborate, so everyone can edit the same time. It's a great feature if you haven't used Google Doc.
Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's. I will go back to my screen share. This is my name.
I think it's the one next to that.
This one? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to do that. Okay. And so at CH1B, we really emphasize on evidence. So most classes will have to build some kind of project in addition or instead of test. So these are the set of documents at the end of the class you have to prepare. The learning journal you have to keep every week. And you will have individual learning plan. And you have in your learning journal, well, each one of these will give you a detail during the class. Introduction to yourself, your educational goal, your lifelong goal. And there's also an extra credit towards the end for book report. Let me go through the grading criteria. The grading, we try to keep up every week. You can check your grade online. And the practice of the program is the total number of points in every class is 1,000 points. So you can see how these points are breaking down depends on different assignments. And this is the grading criteria. If you get 960 or above, you get A+, A, B's, and C's. And be careful, C is considered a minimum passing grade on campus. You might get a D that will not trigger a lot of problem in financial aid, but a D is not considered a passing grade, but it doesn't interfere with your financial aid. So you all should try to achieve, of course, higher grade, but minimally a C. And in terms of GPA, the A+ and A are the same. The A+ is really a kind of honor. It doesn't go beyond 4.0. So in terms of GPA, A and A+ is all 4.0. And you will receive the grade usually a week after the last week. And you can find it on your CMS system. Let's see. Depends on faculty. There are different policy on the late assignments. Just manage your time. If you have some emergency or compelling reason you have to be late, faculty are reasonable. So you can send in an email saying, the family have some issue or I have to be somewhere else. I will be late this week. And more than likely they will accept late work without deduction. If you don't provide a compelling reason, usually there will be point deducted if your assignment are late. Okay. So we try to build a very engaging and collaborative environment. So I will encourage all of you to reach out, even sometimes just say hi to faculty and TA and students. That social connection will make your experience a lot more enjoyable. So that's what we try to build. And the rest are not as crucial. You can take a look at, we planned out the whole 8 weeks with a lot of details. But as the semester goes, we might add or subtract some items. Okay. For online program, the faculty and TA are your point of contact for any academic issues. Claudia will be your point of contact for any kind of non-academic issues. And I, as the director of the program, are more than welcome if you have any complaints, any concerns. I'm always the person you can talk to. If you have some problem with me, the person you can contact is Dr. Sue, and she can deal with a higher level of issues. Question about the syllabus? Okay, let me go through the first module, then we'll call it a day. Okay. So the first module, just like other modules, they look kind of similar. Usually have a module and a title of the module and the outcome of this module. This module is special because it's kind of orientation, and you will understand the schedule, the syllabus. You will study a little bit about the so-called netiquette, how do you communicate online. You will get used to how to use the iLearn system. The team will be formed, and one of the team activity is to build a team resume. So think about a team resume is you are almost like a small consulting company or company. People go to you, say, you know, what's your strength of your team? What's the experience? So you kind of collaborate you collect everyone's strength, everyone's experience, build a team resume. Then in the meantime, you build a team, and also you know each other. And every module, you will have a set of reading, and you have a set of assignments. Each assignment, we try to be very clear. How long does it take? So for example, study commitment, assignments, we want you to look at your weekly calendar and decide what are the 12 to 20 hours every week you can put into the study. We would think that would take about 45 to 60 minutes. Forum would take longer, would take 2 to 3 hours. So you can see that we try to put every item as accountable and kind of give you a guideline. How long does it take? And the due date, the due date of this is I'm sorry. The due date of this is January 5th. So you have about 3 weeks to do it, because you don't have account. So just in case you're late because of the account, we will be fine. But I think within a week you'll get that account set up. Okay, so that's week 0, and the module 0, module 1 will start January 6th, and currently you can see this gray out, so you won't be able to see it. We will make it available no later than January 6th. So once you get your account, you should log in and start reading through these assignments, reading and start doing assignments. And you will get instructions through email how do you communicate with your team. Okay. Other comments from Cassandra and Brian?
Yeah, I just have a short comment. If you still have, I'll go ahead and share iLearn if I can find it on my I think this is it right here. Start screen share. Does everybody see the screen?
Yep.
Okay, let me get back to CST 300. Okay, I think I got the wrong one. Give me a second here. Okay, so we're gonna reopen up the. I don't know if we mentioned it earlier. We opened up the course on Wednesday morning. We try to get it open before 10 in the morning. Sometimes I'll have it open a lot earlier. I keep that in mind. So Also, keep in mind on the due dates on Tuesday, 11:55 is the typical due date. Once in a while, we'll have an assignment that's due before that date. So pay attention to the due dates in the assignments. Now, Tuesday at 11:55, try to get it in a little bit earlier than that, just in case you have there's a problem with the connection speed. But usually we won't have a qualm if it goes past that. So that's about it. One more thing. I know I'm going to look at Module 1 just to give you an example. We break the class up into lecture and lab. So you're going to see lecture readings and then lab readings. And it's the same with the assignments. You'll see a heading with assignments. You'll see assignments for the lecture portion, then assignments for the lab portion. So just be mindful of that, and you should be fairly good to go. So I look forward to working with you. Thank you,
Brian.
So there.
Okay, well, that finally come to the end of a very long online session. But we open up for any other question or comments about the program, about the technology, about the class going to start in a few days. Any question? Let me see. Anyone haven't? Augustine, Augie, I haven't listened to yours speak yet, so.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, what's up?
He's joined by audio.
Okay.
From the phone.
So how about Augustine? Augustine, are you there? Wait.
I'm here. I'm on the
two. Okay, I see. Okay, so if you haven't have your nice webcam and an internet and your backdrop all set up, to take sometime next week to do it, especially if I have a messy bedroom, you might want to hide it a little bit. And let's see, who hasn't spoken yet? Let me see, maybe everyone in this already spoken. That's very good. Okay, so I will put my email, and my email also connect to my Google Hangout. So if you text me, it will show up on my phone. And if I'm not in the meeting, I usually can get to it right away. The email, sometimes I have to process them every night. So it takes a little bit longer. So if you have a kind of instant message, use Google Hangout text. That will work. Again, welcome everyone to the program. This is an exciting start. I want to thank the faculty and staff. And different from the typical in-person class, usually you only have one faculty. The online one allows us for the staff, TA, and faculty, and myself always involved with the class. So it is an interesting environment. You get a lot of support. Welcome to the program. I will see you when we start the class. And thank you, Brian. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you.
Happy holiday, everyone. Okay. Bye-bye now.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. It was nice to see you all.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the program. Look forward to working with you.
Thanks. Okay, bye-bye.